I think definitely the U.S. is going to be, one of the largest suppliers, if not the largest supplier at some point in time, because they're building a lot of LNG terminal capacity, and they have ample abundance of gas in the U.S. So we ourselves are building a terminal to supply Europe. So I think it's a big opportunity for the U.S., but that has been planned for a while because that's the closest destination and the biggest market.
The US is leaning heavily on Europe at present to immediately cut Russian energy imports. Is that feasible to your mind?
I think, replacing Russian supplies of gas, you have to look at the numbers. And when you look at the numbers today, somewhere in the range of 30 to 40% of the total supply of gas comes from Russia. So to actually say that Europe can replace that gas, it's not practically possible.
Do you expect a plan to jointly buy fuel from big suppliers like QatarEnergy? I'm just thinking about how Europe will go about this.
If the governments decide that they want to buy as governments, I think I have not seen that yet. It hasn't happened in the past. But everybody in Europe is talking to us and other LNG suppliers because they want to diversify their gas supplies.
Qatar is clearly a great opportunity for Europe, as Europe is lent on heavily by Washington to wean itself off Russian gas. What does Qatar supply at present?
The contracts that we actually supply to Europe are divertible. The majority are divertible, whether it's in continental Europe or the UK. And what we have actually committed to the Europeans is that the volumes that are divertible, we're not going to divert. So we'll keep them during this circumstance, keep them in Europe. Even if there's a financial gain for us to divert away, we would not do that. And that's in solidarity with what's going on in Europe.
By clearly getting involved in support and, as you describe it, solidarity for Europe in this time of crisis, does that damage your relations with the Kremlin?
I don't think it does. We're an energy supplier. We've been supplying Europe all along. So all the volumes that we're taking to Europe has been destined for Europe. So we're just saying we're keeping that and not diverting it away.
Let me put it another way. Are you choosing a side at this point? Because to date, Qatar hasn't chosen a side in this war.
We are not, from a business perspective, we don't choose sides. We act as a business and we do our business, and our gas business is driven by business, not by politics.
So what is the impact on Asia? You're not turning your back on the Asian consumers. Is that what you're telling me?
No, not at all. We've been the only company, or maybe the largest company as far as percentage-wise, signing long-term deals with the Asian customers. And we've signed several deals in the last 3 years for long-term. So we have supply, and we want to diversify our buyers too. So we think it's going to be right in the middle, would be about 50-50 when all is said and done. Our vision is, or our plan is, we want to be 50% east of Suez, 50% west of Suez. Whether it becomes 60-40 or thereabouts, but that's the target.
And what are the levels at the moment?
Now it's probably, I would say, 80-20 or 85-15, somewhere in that range.
Do you think the West is doing the right thing in sanctioning Russian energy?
Energy part is difficult to deal with. I think the energy should stay out of politics because it hampers development, and it can affect prices the way it has, and it has a lot of volatility. So keeping energy sector out of the political decisions and political sanctions is better for human growth and development around the world.
You could argue this is the first crisis of the energy transition as Europe tries to wean itself off Russian energy by resorting to coal, for example. So again, what's the impact, do you think, of this Ukraine crisis?
I think it's very negative for the transition because you see coal being used at the highest level ever. Everybody, rightfully so, are looking at their energy security ahead of other long-term gains that they're trying to get. But I think we can do that as an energy industry in a responsible way.
Europe has traditionally, or certainly over the past decade or so, had little interest in doing more business with Qatar. How does it feel to have the Europeans knocking on your door at this point?
It's always nice to be wanted, whether it's in business or life. You know, so I think the importance of gas has been amplified, and I think we're lucky to be in the position we're in with the grace of God, and we've worked to be in that position. It's not something that we got, just free.